Morning all. All right, 4 games tonight. Yep, full night tonight. It is one of those rare seasons where we're seeing almost everything go to 6 or 7 games, minus the Vegas and Winnipeg series. And I'm sure Vegas will be watching, popcorn in hand, saying, "Be a shame if all these went to 7 and everybody tired themselves out." So starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, we got the Carolina Hurricanes in against the New York Islanders. So the Canes looking for another closeout opportunity here and looking to finish this one off. Of course, for the Islanders, they fought their way back to earn this game at UBS Arena. Gostisbehere stands out as a guy with no points. So I've got slow starters in the playoffs on the board today. Gostisbehere, and he's more of a power play producer, so maybe you'll get a power play point. Parisi for the Islanders is one that stands out to me with no points for them thus far, as he's been prominent at times, and at some point he has to get a goal, right? Antti Ranta, 906 save percentage, has been good. Sorokin's been very good, 923 save percentage. That's likely to be your goaltending matchup throughout the series. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Boston will play the Florida Panthers. So Boston, their second chance, looking to go 3-0 on the road. They haven't done that since 1972 to start the playoffs. Pastrnak stands out to me with just the 2 goals in 5 games. No assists, so they've done a really good job of shutting down Boston's attack, especially 5-on-5 recently. Anton Lundell, no points for him yet for Florida. Obviously a two-way forward, so if he doesn't have points, he's still being a productive member of the team, but they probably like to see a point or two. Ullmark down to a 913 save percentage. So we've seen Ullmark sometimes, not taking all the practices and everything. I don't think he's 100%. And so for Florida, I think they've got to, go for the cross crease passes and extend them and try to get him down. Swayman, when he played very briefly, didn't miss anything. So 1,000 save percentage for him. Alex Lyon, 902 save percentage. Bobrovsky's 895 is deceptive because he was much better in the last game than he was previously. So I would think you get Bobrovsky and Ullmark yet again. And again, I do think Ullmark's dealing with something. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. So again, third straight time now I'm wearing a Stars jersey because they've won the last couple of games. So all right, I shall continue. I'm a little stitious, not superstitious. Max Domi, just the 1 assist for him so far in this series as Dallas is looking to close it out. Maybe the goal comes from him that ends up winning the series. Kaprizov needs a big game. Just the 1 goal so far in the series. I don't think he's playing at 100% either. A lot of players came back from injury, which leads to people throwing their arms in the air and go, they were probably just faking the injuries anyways. But I do think there are a lot of players who are playing hurt right now. And I think Kaprizov may be one of those players. Ottinger, 925 save percentage, has been very good when he's needed to be. Gustafsson, 928 save percentage, so his has come down. Fleury is 774. There was some debate about whether or not they go back to Fleury. I think that would be crazy. I understand Gustafsson's numbers the last couple of games haven't been as good, but I do still think he's the better of the 2 goaltenders. And then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Seattle Kraken could do it. This could be the night. This could be huge. Seattle at home against Colorado. They would be the first ever team to defeat the defending Stanley Cup champions in their first ever playoff series should they defeat the Colorado Avalanche tonight. Of course, Makar's back in the lineup. Lars Eller, no points yet for the Colorado Avalanche. He's been prominent in this series, just no points to show for it. And Donato for Seattle. A little bit surprised Donato doesn't have a point. So I'll say, maybe he gets a goal tonight. If Seattle's going to pull this off, maybe he ends up being the hero. Georgiev, 906 save percentage. Grubauer, 918. I will say I think Seattle's had the better goaltending of the 2 teams, and I'm not sure very many of us would have called that before the series got started. But there you go. Let me know your winners in the comment section below, which teams you believe will win or which teams you would like to see win, that kind of thing. Normally when I'm picking which teams I think will win, I normally go by which teams I don't necessarily cheer for in that scenario, because that generally tends to be how things work out. Whichever team I'm cheering for very often will end up being the one that gets eliminated. At any rate, speaking of eliminations and things that did or didn't happen last night, Toronto was not able to defeat and eliminate the Tampa Bay Lightning. So in the Matthews era, they're now 0-10 in elimination games, where either the Leafs could be eliminated or the other team could be eliminated. They don't perform up to par. They said all the right things after yesterday's game. They're saying all the right things today about how they're relaxed and they're a confident bunch, and they just have to go out and play their game in a full 60 minutes and get pucks deep, and all the same platitudes and all those wonderful phrases that hockey players use. But I was getting, as soon as that game started last night, it was weird. It was just like, okay, so Tampa's winning this, aren't they? It's just this just feeling I had. But yeah, it just, Tampa Bay played the perfect game right from, I thought right from the opening whistle. Even though Toronto scored first, I thought Tampa was in control for a lot of it. So yeah, Toronto needs to go in and win their third in a row in Tampa Bay, just like Boston's trying to do in Florida tonight. And I don't think those tasks are that easy. Florida can be tough at home. Tampa can be very tough at home. Winnipeg Jets. So coming out of last night's loss, Rick Bowness could finally say how he really felt. And boy, did he ever tell us how he really felt. Now, I feel kind of bad for the team on one level. They were not healthy. No Scheifele, no Morrissey. But he was mad because he felt like the team had no pushback. He was mad because he felt like the better players in Vegas played better throughout the series. And I would agree with that. Vegas was also, I thought, just the better team. This was of all the series we've seen in this year's playoffs, that to me was the most lopsided one. And it did turn out to be that. But yeah, Bowness saying he was disappointed and disgusted, and saying this dates back to when they were fighting it out for first place in the division, and then teams just started basically ruining them on a nightly basis, it seemed. And yeah, the descent from that first place in the division all the way down to a wild card spot and flirting with missing the playoffs, that did turn out to be the Winnipeg Jets we saw in the playoffs. So I don't know what you do here. I would think there has to be some major change. Maybe Bowness doesn't come back, but I don't think you necessarily let the players off the hook. Kevin Cheveldayoff clearly doubled down on this core in the offseason, and it didn't work out. They made the playoffs, yes, but in the end, this core just didn't have that, like he said, that pushback. So I would think in the offseason, Wheeler probably gets moved. Scheifele may get moved. I don't know with Hellebuck. I think if Hellebuck wants to stay in Winnipeg, I think he'll get as long a contract for as much money as he wants from them. But I do think other leaders on the team are going to go. I think you keep Connor, you keep Ehlers, you keep some of that core. I don't think you need to tear the whole thing down. But yeah, I think there's going to be some changes made on this team. So they're going to be interesting to watch in the offseason. So road teams currently in the playoffs continue to be the story. They are now 25-15 through 40 playoff games. That's a record. So, see, 26, 27, 28, 29. Let's say all four of these are road wins. The record in a series, the record in a season in one round of playoffs is 30, and obviously you'd have to have that in the first round to get there. So this is a rarity. We're seeing road teams win a lot. We're seeing close series. Remember, you play an 82-game schedule, hoping to have home ice advantage, and people pay big money to see these games, and 25 out of 40 audiences so far have been disappointed in the results they've witnessed if they're cheering for the home team. If you're cheering for the road team, odds are you're having a pretty good time at these games. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts regarding the road team, and is this just how it's going to be now, or is this a one-off? It does feel like maybe this is just how things are, with coaching being at the level it is, and the fact that we have as much parity in the leagues we do. Even you look at Boston and Florida. I don't think that if you look at those two rosters on paper, that there's that much of a difference between the two. I think they're pretty close. Anyways, so the ownership bids for the Ottawa Senators, of course, we have a limited number of groups that are really serious, but Ryan Reynolds and the Remington Group, pretty serious. They're apparently upping their bid to around the $1 billion range. So that's a lot of money. And if the Ottawa Senators sell for $1 billion, that's going to definitely be one that the NHL's owners are going to see as a win for them. Because if the Senators are worth $1 billion, then if you're an owner of another team that has been valued higher than the Senators traditionally, your value is probably going to get bumped up as well. And it's been said that the NHL teams are A, a really good investment, and B, probably undervalued. So this is a good sign that that's probably the case. NHL teams have been undervalued for a long time, and maybe it makes them the favorites. If it's a matter of the NHL looking at who's got the most money, Now they're right in that conversation. And then it's a matter of what the vision is, because we haven't heard what the vision is yet from each group. But once we know what the plan is regarding a new building, if they plan on a new building and where, and how aggressive they're going to be with their spending. But I kind of do hope that Ryan Reynolds ends up getting that and his ownership group, because again, I think it would attract a lot of attention to the National Hockey League, and that can only be a good thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.